Hey y'all, how y'all doing out there? Welcome back into this Boozin Food Kitchen. I'm Shelia Edwards, and I'm always glad to have you here. Have you found that peak in your day so far? It doesn't take but a little something to make your day peak on up there. Like for me, today I found everything I wanted in the grocery store. So that was a good morning for me. At any rate, what I found in the grocery store was what I'm putting together today for us. Today, we're gonna mess with a little classic dish in this kitchen. You know, I've already said there are certain things you don't mess with in this community. You don't mess with that potato salad, and I already touched on that a little bit. You don't mess with the sweet potatoes. Okay, I'm on my way. And you know you do not mess with that macaroni and cheese. But today we are going to, yes, we're making a boozy mac and cheese in this kitchen, but we're going to give ours a little crunch. You know, when I'm eating pastas or something that's just smooth through, I kind of like to have that crunch in it. So in our mac and cheese today, we're going to add, instead of putting breadcrumbs on top of our mac and cheese, we're going to put some cheeses on there. Yeah, the cheeses, like the potato chip cheeses that you eat. Well, not potato chips, but the crackers. Yeah, the cracker cheeses that you normally eat. We're going to crumble those up on top of this macaroni cheese. And you know we're going to keep it boozy, so you're going to see what we're going to put in there to keep it boozy. But let's get over here on this stove and get these macaronis. Macaronis boiled up. You know, I'm always kind of saying a few things that I'm thinking one thing and saying another, but we're going to boil up our macaroni here, and we're going to make a little bechamel sauce and put cheese in it, and we're going to get that over on that macaroni cheese, those cheeses, get it in the oven, and we're going to be eating good in no time. So meet me over here on the stove, y'all. We're getting our macaroni and cheese started by boiling about 3 cups of water, and I'm pouring 8 ounces of elbow pasta in that water. We're gonna let this go for about 8 minutes. And I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in there, not a whole lot. As you know, our cheese will contain some salt also. So we're gonna leave that to go, and then we're gonna move to our other eye where we get our bechamel sauce together. So here we have melted 4 cups of butter, which is 4th cup of butter, which is a half stick. To that half stick of melted butter, I'm adding a 4th cup of flour. You know, to get that bechamel sauce together, it's an equal part flour and butter. And so now we're just going to stir those together until we get it all incorporated. And I'm whisking this so that I can kind of ensure that I have no lumps going on. It's almost sort of akin to making somewhat of a roux. Some people do call it a roux for their mac and cheese. So there we got pretty much all the lumps off, and it doesn't take long. You see, I haven't been even stirring a minute here, and that's looking good. So I'm gonna let this go for just a second here, and then we'll be ready to add our milk. Okay, now that has been going for about a little over a minute, and now it's really smooth there. So I'm going to go ahead and add my heavy cream, and I'm using 1.5 cups. I'm going to turn this eye off until I get my heavy cream. Okay, and that's I put 1 cup in there, so now I need to put my beer in here. That's 1 cup of the heavy cream. Now this right here, I'm using a little bit of this Mickey's beer, and I'm putting 1 cup of beer in it. You know we're gonna keep it boozy now. So that's 1 cup of beer. right there. And you know what? I'm not even a beer drinker. But this right here, this is what I'm using. This, let me see if I can get it here. This Mickey's beer. Oh my, that is a smooth beer. Now, I'm not a beer drinker, but that I can drink. So I'm gonna let this heat come back up. I turned it off. I'm gonna let the heat come back up. I just wanted to get both of those in there. And now I'm gonna let that go for just a second while I'm getting my other half cup of heavy cream. So yeah, the heat looks like it's coming back. So this, I'm using a little heavy cream here. See that? Then I'm just gonna get the other half cup of that in there. And I'm gonna move this around a little bit and you're gonna see it start to thicken. So I'm just gonna let it go a little bit here for about 2 or 3 minutes until it thickens there. So we're back and this bechamel has thickened here. You can kind of see how it's looking now. Okay, so it's pretty thick. So now I'm gonna add just a little bit of, I can take my whisk out now because there are no lumps in it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and a touch of, just a little, I added pepper and that's a little bit of salt. So now what I'm ready to do is add 3 cups of cheese to this sauce. I'm using sharp cheddar and mozzarella. Kind of slipped my mind right there. Okay, so I'm gonna move to using my wooden spoon now. Oh, it's a little hot. So I'm gonna stir that around in that sauce. And so all together, I'm using 3 cups of that cheese. Okay. Oh, I don't like to leave it in the bottom, so I'm gonna get that little bit out too. And even that one string that dropped over there. So I'm gonna stir this all together. So, oops, pot moving all around. All right, so we got that together. And you all can kind of see where we already going with this. Look at that. Yes, baby. Come through, cheese. Come through. Okay, so now this bechamel, and normally you put a little nutmeg in here, which I'm probably gonna do right before I put it in my mac and cheese, because a little nutmeg ain't never hurt nobody. Okay, so we're gonna leave this for just a minute and get our get our elbow pasta together. Okay, we got our pasta drained here. All right. So we drain this pasta, and while it's hot, I want to start getting some of my ingredients in there. I'm using now, this is some sour cream here, and I'm using half of this tub, which is 4 ounces of cottage cheese. Sour cream. Okay, so I'm going to stir that around in here. Bechamel to this. Okay. Ooh. And you can smell that wonderful beer smell in there. Now I'm going to stir this together. And I said I was going to put just a little bit of that nutmeg in there because it helps to bring that sauce out, and just a little bit. And you saw how little that was. Okay, so we're going to stir this together, and then we'll get this in our casserole dish, and then we're going to make the topping that goes on top. Look at this stringy macaroni. It's already trying to get ready there. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to get our cheeses together. And this is what I'm using right here. The cheeses that you used to eating out of a little bag or so. This is what we put in our macaroni casserole here. So what I do, I don't like my cheeses crunched up really, really small, so I don't do these with the rolling pin. I take a jar. I know this is country as all get out, but everybody should have a jar like this, honey child. This is my strong crunch jar. So I take this jar and I basically put my little cheeses in a small bowl, and I'm just basically wanting to get them in big crumbles. And if you want to just crumble it with your hand, that's good too. But by all means, do not put it in the processor. It's not that serious. It's just to get them kind of mashed up. And that's all I have a desire to do right now. It's just mash them up a little bit. And then I look down through there. And if I see a few of them that are still a little too big for me, I just put this jar right on them and get them kind of mashed up down there. Because again, the reason I'm putting them in there because I want to have that crunch in there. But you know, some people choose to use those panko breadcrumbs, some use potato chips and stuff, but I like to keep that cheesy taste going, so that's why I use cheeses. Now what I've done in this little saucepan is I've melted, that's about a tablespoon of butter. I took half of the Cheez-Its that I had crumbled in the bowl, and I'm putting them in there into that butter. And what I want to do is what I want to do now is just turn this eye off, and I'm just going to basically move these around in this bowl. Basically all I want to do is get them coated, and this is going to go on top of our macaroni cheese with a little bit of cheese mixed in with this. So now we've got just about everything in that mac and cheese. So now what I'm gonna do is I put Cheez-Its down in there. And don't worry, they don't get soggy because everything in there is kind of, well, there's nothing in there to make it really soggy because you just got the cheese and the pasta. So this holds up really well, it holds that crunch, okay? So now I've got everything mixed and I'm ready to put it into my pan. I'm gonna try to pour this in here. Here, this is my pan that I'm going to bake this in. So let me see, can I hold this because this is not hot at all. I'm just gonna try to get it over in there. And once we get this in here, we're gonna put our topping on, and then this goes in a 350 degree oven for about 30 minutes. And it's just not really cooking it, it's just kind of melding everything together there. Okay. So there we have it. And I'm gonna take, and this is the pan where we put the little cheeses with the butter. And now you may not be able to see me doing this part, but I'm putting the cheese in there with it, and I didn't put the cheese in there at the time everything was melting because then it would have been like a glob. But you just kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just stirring it around there, and then this goes on top. And it's just a little warm. It's not, of course, you know I couldn't be sticking my hands down in there if it were hot. Alright. And whew, it probably looked a little messy on camera, but it's not going to be messy when we put it in our mouth, I guarantee you that. So now we're going to take this and put it in our oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. A beautiful mac Cheez-Its, beer mac with cheese. Alright y'all, we back. And all I can tell you is this macaroni and cheese is creamy, it's crunchy. I don't know what other adjectives you need to describe this goodness right here, other than it's good. Yes, so I'm going to go on and get on into this mac and cheese. And one variation I wanted to just say to you, if you don't want to put the beer in it, and I would put it in there if I were you, but if you don't want to put the beer in there, just save a cup of your pasta sauce and use that in the place where you saw me put the beer. But I like it boozy, so I like the beer. But I'm gonna go on and get on into eating this, and I don't want to be smacking in your face. So let me just say this before I start smacking. Do not forget to like me with the subscribe button. All you gotta do is just hit subscribe, and I greatly appreciate it. Right now, I'm gonna go and appreciate